Scorpio. This is Revan, otherwise known as Cosmic Alignment, and this is an evolutionary astrological forecast into the first week of January 2019, specifically contextualized for you, Scorpio. So let's get right into this. So this first week of January 2019 has us beginning with these major energy shifts, which you, Scorpio, will feel. Two major energy shifts, and one of them being this harmony felt within the emotional body. Again, which I feel like that specifically will speak very strongly with you and will resonate because you are so aware and have such a developed sixth sense that you just notice it and it will speak to you. But first, let me get this Capricorn and Saturn stuff out of the way. So, as any astrological forecast for the first week of 2019 will let you know, the first week of January starts off with January 1st, starting us with the Sun conjunct Saturn in Capricorn's 11th degree. At the same time, we have about 40% of the cosmos in in Capricorn, being the planets being the Sun in Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn. Mercury will be in Capricorn come the 4th of January. And then from Friday to Sunday, the moon will also be in Capricorn. So that's what the Sun, Saturn, Pluto, Mercury, and the moon, that's 5 planets. That's 50% of the cosmos. That's 10 if you count Pluto. And again, we're not even including the South Node within that, which is very significant. So there's this concentration of energy in Capricorn. And this is also connected to another major alignment, synchronicity, on the 1st of January, and that's the Sun conjunct Saturn in the 11th degree of Capricorn. It's like right on the 1st of January. This is like a major synchronicity. What does this reflect? The Sun is the solar heartbeat, we can say. The blood, the life, the source of energy and light and love within our solar system. And for that archetype, for that center to be aligned with Saturn, brings Saturn to the forefront at the beginning of the year, which colors the whole cycle. And what is Saturn? Let's look at the symbol. It is the cross, which represents the 4 elements, which in ancient, prehistoric, pre-modern times represented the 4 elements which through all of creation was manifested through. So in other words, it was a way to categorize the laws of creation through which all of what is manifested through those inner workings of the principles of reality, through which all is manifested through is that cross. In Saturn, we see that cross above a half crescent. This half crescent represents our egos, our personalities, these incarnations, because they are like the moon. They are reflectors of the light of spirit / the sun. So this archetype of Saturn brings to the forefront our responsibilities, our purpose, our calling, our what's the word I'm looking for? Our dharma. It's the duty. It's what in this lifetime we are here to adhere to. We can say we are here to develop. We are here to actualize and to ground and to manifest. This is Saturn / Capricorn energy. And this is what the year is starting us off with. And so for you specifically, Scorpio, that speaks to everybody. And you will feel it because you're part of the all. But what I feel will speak even more strongly to you, and I'll explain why, is these next two transits and major energy shifts. And just to finish everything about Saturn and Capricorn, come the 5th of January, there's going to be a new moon / partial solar eclipse occurring within Capricorn. So again, it's just, reflecting that this first week of January specifically is all about a new beginning, new cycles in terms of who we want to be and embody in society, in our careers, in our professions, in our communities, in culture. Not who do you want to be just in yourself personally, which is more Aries, but who do you want to be out in society and culture and community / Capricorn. This is the nature of this combination. So now to the juicy stuff, I feel like. So as we all know, if we've been following the astrological transits, Venus has been in Scorpio for quite some time. Has been went through a retrograde period, and then went through being released from this shadow period that it went through in Scorpio. And this 1st of January begins this grand water trine being created within the earth, within the water element signs. Here, let me elaborate a little bit more. So in Cancer, we have the North Node. I believe it's in like the 27th or 28th degree. I'm not too sure. It's actually on the 26th degree of Cancer. The North Node, 26th degree of Cancer. Chiron in Pisces, also around the same degree. So these two have been trining each other for quite some time, and has been reflecting this evolutionary need to establish the emotional security from within, as opposed to attempting to depend on some external factor to find emotional security. This may not be such a predominant thing for you, Scorpio, but this next one is. Venus, having gone through this retrograde period and all that transformation in Scorpio, in your energy, in your sphere, Scorpio, has brought the friendships that you surround yourselves with, the people, the associations, the social circle that you've created, and the relationships that you've have as a consequence of that to focus. It made you look at all the ways that you seek love, that you seek improvement from others, limits you. And you let go of that. This is what this whole Venus and Scorpio energy was about. Learning the lesson of self-love and self-sustainability. Just to be able to be independent and to be, at least having the experience of feeling oneself as whole and complete and perfect as is, without anything added. Not really seeking a relationship, in other words, out of this feeling of a void within, and fulfilling some type of, emptiness with some type of momentary gratification from the company and admiration from another. Because then we're projecting our needs, basic needs, essential needs, onto another to fulfill, for us to just be okay. So this evolutionary transit of Venus and Scorpio was experienced throughout this late phase of 2018, and now Venus walks into the last degrees of Scorpio, completing this grand triune, this grand trinity within the water element signs, reflecting this emotional, spiritual development and maturity. So you might have noticed, I'm pretty sure, Scorpio, that there's been like this lightening up. Like, we feel a lot lighter. We don't feel as heavy as we did during Scorpio season. Definitely Sagittarius. Jupiter moving out of Scorpio and into Sagittarius, and everything in Sagittarius season just had us feel a lot more like things are starting to expand. We've gone through the murky darkness. We've kind of been purging and cleansing and detoxing, and now it is time to learn something new, and that's what we experience in Sagittarius. An expansion of the self. Sagittarius is an arrow pointing heavenward, representing an expansion, a direction in which we are going further than that which is physical and material, and within the proximity of what we can see, and instead we're aiming for what's beyond our present perception. It's like a trusting in the other side, in the reality behind the veil. So the Sagittarius season has experienced a lot of like upgrades and ascensions. I say this because of the Mercury-Jupiter conjunction, especially including the Sun. It's just like activation, 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 ascension, ascension, upgrade, upgrade. And Venus is now going to get, finally, it's like the last one in line for this experience, to tell you the truth. And this trine that it forms at the end of this Scorpio journey of Venus, which begins to be felt personally, collectively, during the 1st of January with this grand water trine with North Node Cancer, Chiron Pisces, and this Scorpio Venus energy, symbolizes this harmony in the emotional body, a healing, a blessing, and a gift that has been reached. North Node in Cancer brings into the equation the establishment of our emotional security within, instead of seeking external factors to establish that centering and security of the emotions within. So there's that independence being established. That's reflecting our healing abilities being activated, / Chiron Pisces. And this Venus, Scorpio, last leg, last piece, we can say, completing this grand trine, is reflecting this emotional maturity reached. And remember that Venus represents our sense of beauty, what we love, what we enjoy, what we find pleasure in. So that reaching this and completing this harmony, completing and being this last leg, this last trine factor, is reflecting that like inside our soul, our love has really been spiritualized. It's like we've cleansed it. We've cleansed the heart. We've purged it. We went through the murkiness and we scrubbed it clean. And now it's being this pure channel. And there's more harmony and alchemy going on between Venus and Mars, which I'll get into next week. But for this week, just know that, yeah, Venus walking into this grand water trine, especially in Scorpio, your field Scorpio. This is why I said you're feeling that strongly, and we'll speak more to you because, again, just this feeling of the intensity lightening up within the emotions and the feelings, just having let go of those dark patterns that are self-sabotaging and just psychologically just not healthy, being let go. And again, if you feel like you haven't completely let go of that, know that might just be the outer skin that's still just there, and just like a snake, you need to just crawl out of it, and it's gonna just shed right off. You've been made anew. You've gone through your transformation, and now you can start forming relationships with others from a more pure state, from a non-controlling, manipulative place. So that's that grand water trine. And one last item for you specifically, Scorpio, is that Mars walks into Aries come January 1st. What does this mean? Mars is one of the rulers of Scorpio. It represents this energy that we head towards, how we go out, what is reflecting our desires. This energy, just collectively for everybody, means a new beginning of a new task, a new mission, something that we want to discover, something that we want to acquire, something that we want to fulfill is beginning anew. And Mars goes around the zodiac every 1.8 years. So this cycle has just begun, or is just beginning. And so that fiery Mars energy, Mars Aries energy, and all that Capricorn energy that I had mentioned is bringing into balance, or attempting to bring into balance, this earthy, pragmatic approach, and this fiery Aries, just impulsive desire to be and to act, to balance. And this grand water trine is just showing this emotional maturity reached within the emotions. So this is the main planetary shifts going on for you, Scorpio, contextualized for you. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please go ahead and like the video. I've made videos for each of the signs. If you have a friend that's like any of the other signs, or even the Scorpio too, and you feel like you got something out of this, I would invite you to share it. You never know when other people might get something out of it, when they might get some insight, or it just is confirming in some type of way and gives a sense of like, okay, yeah, I am definitely intuitively picking up on that, and it's not just me. It's just like this, the sensation if you're listening to this and you're like somebody that practices, is interested, curious, is learning astrology, to see what this is about and how it comes to life. Or if you're already convinced and you're already seeing it manifest in your life, you might want to share it with other people. I made one for each sign specifically for that, to speak to every sign specifically. And that's pretty much it. I will be publishing these every week, ideally every Sunday morning. This is my first time kind of beginning my own new cycle, you can say, with cosmic alignment, and they'll be every week for every sign. So if you enjoyed this, subscribe, hit the bell button, that way you can be notified as soon as I publish it. And that's pretty much it. Have a great fucking 2019, Scorpio. Bye.